back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus sharing my life stories, experiences with Asperger's syndrome, OCD and the like, so that you can get the lowdown. That's me as a person behind these massive diagnoses that I come with in the territory of Asperger's syndrome. I am also in the process of basically just hopefully looking for some more, tips and advice versus just some words of encouragement from pearls of wisdom based on my life experiences of what you guys may be facing, regardless what it may be, so that you can have a bit of pearls of wisdom and message of hope to uplift your day, regardless what it is. So like I said, I'm here to motivate and support you all in one way or another. So without further ado, basically at this point in time I'm doing the ADHD and series, as well as some other bits and pieces that I've mentioned so many times before, about just basically tidying up the loose ends. And even though there will be plenty more about some parts of the Asperger's series, especially in this part, probably later on anyway, so I can hopefully get the lowdown on that later on. So without further ado, guys, basically this one's going to be helping children and teens with ADHD, some tips along the way of how to help them out by coping mechanisms and the like, and hopefully this will be a better understanding for all. Feel free to comment below basically if there's anything I may have missed in this part that may be of relevance for others if you have a child or a teen with ADHD, because I'm trying to, like I said, involve everybody as much as I can in a way of forming all this mental health and awareness versus everything else, hopefully, so that you guys can get the lowdown. So without further ado, let's begin with this. As you know, if you have a child that in your life sometime that has this condition, it can be frustrating and overwhelming. But to the point, even though it may be overwhelming and frustrating, it can be also rewarding. But as an adult for yourself, there is a lot you can do to help control these symptoms and reducing them. You can help your child to overcome the daily challenges that channels their energy into positive arenas and bring in greater calm to your family. The earlier, more constantly address these problems, the greater chance they have success in life and basically be able to just function in their everyday life regardless what's needed. Okay. It's a few questions that people probably want to know, even though what we need to know basically when it comes down to having a child with ADD or ADHD, especially we know that they have generally deficits in their executive function, which means the ability to think and plan ahead of time, organise themselves, control impulses and complete certain tasks that are given to them. That will mean you need to take over as the executive or personal assistant, providing extra guidance while your child gradually acquires executive skills of their own. Although these symptoms of ADHD can be nothing short but exasperating, it's important to remember that the child with ADHD or ADD is who is ignoring, annoying or embarrassing you, is not acting willfully or out of ignorance or out of spite or what have you. Kids with ADD, ADHD wants to sit quietly. They want to make their rooms tidy and get organised and want to do everything their parents say to do, but they don't know how to make things happen. Obviously, it's all about that, inclusion, even though they feel that at this point of time, they may not be focusing on you, they've got that hyper-focus stage on them and they're zoning out and whatnot, but, they just want to do the best they can, but they need to know where to start, but with the gentle push from us to actually lead them to that point of time. Having ADD or ADHD can be just as frustrating as dealing with someone who has it. If you keep this in mind, it will be easier to respond to your child in a positive, supportive way. With patience, compassion and plenty of support from your family, friends and whoever else, you can manage the childhood of theirs while enjoying a stable, happy home as well. Okay, basically what you need to also realise here is under this section I'm talking about of ADD, ADHD and family here right now, is before you can successfully parent a child with ADHD, it's essential to understand the impact of this child's symptoms on the family as a whole unit. Children with ADHD exhibit a few slew of behaviours that can disrupt family life, which probably are as follows, which the majority of the time, most of these probably, so think about it while I'm sharing these. Number one, they often don't hear parental instructions, they don't obey them straight away. Number two, they're disorganised and easily distracted, keeping other family members waiting. Number three, they start projects and forget to finish them, let alone clean up after them if there's any messy ones in the first place. Number four, children with impulsivity issues are often interrupting conversations and demands for attention at inappropriate times. Number 5, they might speak before they think, saying tactless or embarrassing things to one another or to even you. Number 6, it's often difficult to get them to bed and sleep. Number 7, hyperactive children may tear around the house and do things that put them in a physical danger. Okay, the impact of it on the siblings are, because of these behaviours, they may face a number of challenges in life, like any child with special needs. Number 1, their needs often get less attention than those of the child with ADD, ADHD. Number 2, they may rebuke, shout more sharply when they err, and their successes may be less celebrated or taken for granted. Number 3, they may be enlisted in assistant parents and if blamed. The sibling with ADHD misbehaves under their supervision. Number 4, as a result, siblings may find their love for a brother and sister with ADHD or ADD mixed with jealousy and resentment. Okay, the impact on the parent side with the ADHD is, of course, having a child with ADHD or ADD with parents will affect them in many ways, as well as, like I said, with other children with special needs. Number 1 is the demands of the child with ADHD will be and can be physically exhausting. Number 2, the need to monitor the child's activities and actions can be psychologically exhausting as well. Number 3, the child's inability to listen is really frustrating the adult. Number 4, the child's behaviours and your knowledge of consequences can make you anxious and stressed. Number 5, if there's a basic difference between your personality and that of your child with ADHD, you may find your child's behaviour especially difficult to accept. And number 6, frustration can lead to anger and guilt about being angry at your child for a long period of time. Just to remember on the side note, in order to meet the challenges of raising a child with ADHD or any child with special needs, you must be able to master a combination of compassion and consistency. Living in a home that provides both love and structure is the best thing for a child or teenager who's learning to manage their own ADHD. Okay, so here are some parenting tips that I want to bring out for the parents here, obviously, because this is all about the parenting tips for the ones that may have kids with ADHD. So tip number 1, stay positive and healthy yourself. As a parent, you know you set the stage for your child's emotional and physical health. You are obviously their role model. You are obviously going to be there for life, obviously, for some time, and that, you need to be the leader of the pack, and take full control. You have control over many of the factors that can possibly influence the symptoms of the child's disordered behaviours and behaviours. So, the power of positive attitude, your best assets for having your child meet the challenges of their condition of ADHD are your positive attitude and thinking or common sense. When you're calm and focused, you are more likely to be able to connect with your child, helping him or her to calm down and be focused. Number 1, keep things in perspective. Remember that your child's behaviour is related to disorder. Most of the time it's not intentional. Hold on to your sense of humour, basically, and bring it out when you can. The sense of humour is one thing that we can bring out when things are tough. But we know that some people may have different varieties of sense of humour and stages, or types, shall we say. So it's the best way just to try and do that. What's embarrassing today may be a funny family story for 10 years from now with your child. Don't expect the small stuff and be willing to make some compromises. One chore left undone isn't a big deal when your child has completed 2 others plus the day's homework. If you are a perfectionist, you will not be able to be constantly dissatisfied, but also create impossible expectations for that child with ADHD. Number 3, believe in your child. Think about or make a written list of everything that is possible, valuable and unique about your child. Trust that your child can learn, change, mature and succeed. Make thinking about this trust a daily task as you brush your teeth or make your own coffee. When you take care of yourself, you better able to take care of your child. As your child's role model, as we know, the most important source of strength is basically vital to you to live a healthy life and a lifestyle that is right for you. If you are overtired or have simply run out of patience, you run the risk of losing sight of the structure and support that you have put into place for your child. You have with ADHD. So tips here is number 1, take care of yourself, eat right, exercise and find ways to reduce the stress levels, whether it seems taking a nightly bath or practicing morning meditation. If you do get sick, acknowledge it, get help. Number 2, seek support. One of the most important things to remember around a child with ADHD is that you don't have to do it alone. There are support networks out there. Talk to your doctors, therapists, specialists, teachers. Join in some support groups that are available in your local area. These groups will also offer a forum for giving and receiving advice and provide a safe place to feel feelings and share experiences. Number 3, take frequent breaks. Friends and family can be wonderful offering a to babysit, but you may feel guilty about leaving your child alone or leaving with the volunteer with the child with ADHD. Next time, accept the offer and discuss honestly how Beth had to do it. As we know that everybody, with ADHD is different, so therefore you need to just bear in mind that, despite their differences of their needs and stuff, that everybody needs to know how to work around it. Okay, many people may think that, pets for people with ADHD or any other, mental health illness disorders, or even with just any disorder whatsoever, is not right. But we know that sometimes when it comes down to it, maybe we can have a pet, because obviously pets can be rewarding for us and actually relaxing. If your home feels like it's chaotic, you may be reluctant to add a pet to the mix, but pets come with a host of benefits for you and your child. They can help teach your child responsibility them outside. They can also inject some much needed fun and help the whole family blow off some steam. In fact, studies have shown that pets can protect you from depression, stress, and even medical problems. Tip number 2, simple structure and stick to it. Children with ADHD are more likely to succeed in completing tasks. When the tasks occur in predictable patterns and in predictable places, your job is to create and sustain structure in the home, so that your child knows what to expect and what not to expect and what is expected for them to do, and keep to it. So the tips here to stay focused and organised with your child is: number 1, follow a routine. Obviously it is important to set a time and place for everything to help the child understand and meet expectations. Establish simple and predictable rituals for meals, homework, play and bed. Have your child out clothes for the next morning before going to bed, and make sure whatever he or she needs to take to school in a special place and ready to grab. Number 2, use clocks and timers. Consider placing clocks throughout the house, with a big one in your child's bedroom. Allow enough time for what your child needs to do, such as homework or getting ready in the morning. Use a timer for homework or transitional time, such between finishing up play and getting ready for bed. Number 3, simplify your child's schedule. It's good to avoid odorous harm, but a child with ADHD may become more distracted and wound up. There are many other school activities you may need to make adjustments to child's after-school commitments based on individual child's abilities and demands of particular activities. Either that, or as the saying goes, like I said before, maybe just break it off into little chunks, and just, if you want, you can take away some of the activities of that child's schedule, regardless of what it may be, of their, activities, and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, you can always just place them back in of these activities that they were doing in the first place. Number 4, create a quiet place. Make sure your child has a quiet, private space of their own. A porch, a bedroom, or a bedroom may work well too, as long as it's not the same place the child goes for time out, however. Or else avoid confusion and frustration between you and the child, and then obviously when that happens, the child will think, this behaviour that I did for the good is confused with bad, so we are, if I done wrong. Last but not least, tip number 5 is do your best to be neat and organised. Set up your home in an organised way. Make sure your child knows that everything has its place. Lead by example with neatness and organisation as much as possible. Rule of thumb here: avoid problems by keeping kids with attention deficit disorders busy. As I said before, for kids with ADHD, idle time may be exacerbated by their symptoms and create chaos in their home or your home as well. It is important to keep a child with ADHD busy without piling on so many things that the child becomes so overwhelmed. Sign your child up for sports, art class and music. At home, organise simple activities that fill up your child's time. These can be tasks like helping you cook, playing a board game with a sibling, or drawing a picture. Try not to over-rely on the television or computer video games as time fillers. Unfortunately, TV and video games are increasingly violent in nature and may increase your child's symptoms of ADHD. Many people may disagree with that, but I've seen it with some children that has ADHD, that they do become violent if they see it. And now, tip number 3, set clear expectations and rules. Children with ADHD need consistent rules that they can understand and follow. Make sure the rules of behaviour for the family are simple and clear. Write down the rules and hang them up in a place where your child can easily read them. Children with ADHD respond particularly well to organised systems of rewards and consequences. It's important to explain that what will happen when the rules are obeyed and when they are broken. Finally, stick to a system, following through each and every time with a reward or consequence pattern. We've got to remember also, don't forget praise and positive reinforcement. As you establish these constant structures and routine in place, keep in mind that children with ADHD often receive criticism. Be on the lookout for their good behaviour and praise it. Praise is especially important for children who have ADHD because they typically get so little of it, as we know, as well as many other children with other learning disabilities or disorders. These children receive correction, remediation and complaints about their behaviour, but little positive reinforcement. A small positive comment or other reward from you can improve the attention, concentration and impulse control of your child with ADHD. Do your best to focus on giving positive praise for appropriate behaviour and task completion, while giving it as few negative responses as possible to inappropriate behaviour or poor task performance. Reward your child for small achievements that you might take for granted another child. Okay, I'm going to just read out a few things based on what I'm saying here, using the rewards and consequences, okay? And they are broken up into a table format, what I've done. So what I'm going to read here is the rewards versus the consequences. Reward your child with privileges, praise or activities rather than food or toys. Consequences should be spelled out in advance and occur immediately after your child has misbehaved. Rewards is rewards frequently. Kids with ADHD get bored if the reward is always the same. The consequence for that, try timeouts and the removal of privileges as consequences for misbehaviour. Your rewards for this one is make a chart with points or stars awarded for good behaviour so your child can have a visual reminder of their successes. Consequences, remove your child from situations and environments that trigger their inappropriate behaviour in response to that behaviours. Another one for your rewards is immediate rewards work better than the promise of a future reward, but small rewards leading to a bigger one can also work. And then consequence, when your child misbehaves, ask what he or she has done or could have done instead, then your child can demonstrate it. Your rewards system on this, always follow through with the reward, and the consequences as a reminder, always follow through with a consequence. Right. Tip number 4, encourage movement and sleep. As we know, physical activity can help your child with ADHD and many other disorders that can obviously, especially with people with a child with ADHD when they're young, they've got a lot of energy to burn and they are full of energy and that they need to just let off steam as much as a parent can. So take note that organised sports and other physical activities can help them get their energy back into a healthy way and focus their attention on specific movement skills. The benefits of physical activities are endless, as you know. Improves concentration, decreases depression and anxiety, and promotes brain growth. Most importantly for children with attention deficits, however, it is the fact that exercise leads to a better sleep, which in turn can also reduce the symptoms of ADHD. Find a sport that your child will enjoy and love that suits his or her own strengths. For example, sports like softball that involve a lot of downtime are not often best fit for children with attention problems. Individual team sports like basketball and hockey that require constant motion are more better options. Children with ADHD may also benefit from martial arts training, taekwondo, yoga, which enhance mental control as they work out of the body. Okay, as I said before, better sleep can help your child with ADHD. Insufficient sleep can make anyone less attentive, but it can be highly detrimental for children with ADHD. Kids with ADHD may at least need at least as much sleep as their unaffected peers, but tend not to get what they need. The attention problems can lead to overstimulation and trouble falling asleep. I recommend some more of this, what I'm talking about this ADHD and sleep in children in my video, but this is just a little bit just to remind you guys gently of it. Because of early bed, some of the most helpful strategies to combat this problem, but it may not completely solve it. Help your child to get better rest by trying out more of these following strategies that I'm going to list to you right now. Number 1, decrease television time and increase your child's activities and exercise levels during the day. Number 2, eliminate caffeine from your child's diet. Number 3, create buffer time to lower down the activity level for an hour or so before bedtime. Find quiet activities such as colouring, reading or playing quietly. Number 4, spend 10 times cuddling with your child. 10 minutes, I should say. This will build a sense of love and security as well as provide a time to calm down. Number 5, use limited or other aromas in your child's room. This will obviously help your child to relax and calm them down. 6, use relaxation taps as background noise for your child when falling asleep. There are many varieties also including nature sounds and calming music. Children with ADHD often find white noise to be calming. You can create white noise by putting a radio on static or running an electric fan. Right. Tip number 5, help your child to eat right. Diet is not a direct cause of attention deficit disorders, however, but some of the foods can, based on what's inside of their, properties, food, be it, food dyes, preservatives and all that. and affect your child's mental state, which in turn seems to affect behaviour. Monitoring and modifying what, when and how much your child eats can help decrease the symptoms of this. However, all children benefit from fresh foods, regular meal times, and staying away from junk food. These talents are especially true for children with ADHD, whose impulsiveness and distractedness can lead to missed meals, disordered eating, and overeating. Eating small meals more often may help your child's ADHD. Children with ADHD are notorious for not eating regularly. Without parental guidance from you as a parent, these children may not eat for hours on end, and then they may begin to binge whatever is around them. The result of this pattern can be devastating to the child's physical and emotional health. Prevent unhealthy eating habits by scheduling a regular nutritious meal or snack for your child no more than 3 hours apart. Physically, a child with ADHD needs a regular intake of healthy food. Mentally, meal times are a necessary break and a scheduled rhythm to the day. So, tips here are: number 1, get rid of the junk foods in your home. Number 2, put fatty and sugary foods off limits when eating out. Number 3, turn off television shows riddled with junk food ads. Number 4, give your child a daily vitamin and mineral supplement. Tip number 6, last not but least I think, is teaching your child how to make friends. As we know that children with ADHD especially do have difficulty in socialising, as well as just simple interactions with their peers. They may struggle with reading social cues, talk too much, interrupt frequently, come off as aggressive or really intense. Their relative emotional immaturity can make them stand out among children their own age, and make them targets for unfriendly teasing or bullying. Don't forget though that many kids with ADHD are essentially intelligent and creative, and eventually will figure out for themselves how to learn with others and spot people who aren't appropriate as friends for themselves. Moreover, personality traits that might exasperate parents and teachers may come across to peers as funny and charming. Helping a child with attention deficit disorder will improve social skills. It's hard for children with ADHD to learn social skills and social rules. You can help your child with ADHD become a better listener, learn to read people's faces and body language, interact more smoothly in groups. So tips here for the last bit is: number 1, speak gently but honestly with your child about his or her challenges and how to make them changes. Number 2, role play various social scenarios with your child. Trade roles often and try to make it fun. Number 3, be careful to select playmates for your child with similar language and physical skills. Number 4, invite only 1 or 2 friends at a time at first. Watch them closely while they play. Number 5, have a zero tolerance policy for hitting, pushing and yelling in your house or the backyard. Number 6, make time and space for your child to play and reward basics with basically just learn what's right for yourself as well. So this ends basically the one about parenting tips for people that parents that has children with ADHD, and hopefully this will be of value to you guys. Give me a like for thumbs up for support. Give me a comment below if I've missed anything that may be of relevance to others. I hope that some people come on and comment to how they, teach their children or deal with their children in their everyday life, regardless what it may be. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Feel free to share these videos around, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, I'll see you all again soon.